We are the Black Gents of Hollywood, and this is I Am Hip Hop. You heard? God bless.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy JohnOllie. This is I Am Hip Hop, and today on I Am Hip Hop, I'm actually going to stray away from talking about, I guess, hip hop. I got my co-host today, Miss Chris Breezy.
Hello, what's up?
From the Breezy Effect. And that you see two of us here, that's going to be my segue to tell you that today's top 5 is top 5 TV couples that we have of all time. Alright? And I'm gonna let my girl go ahead and run it down for y'all and let her start it off with her number 5.
My number 5 is Max and Kyle from Living Single. Why? Because they represent that undying passion that you can have for a person. I know everyone's been in that type of relationship where it's like you really can't stand the person, and it's like when you see them, it's like I hope you die slow over hot coals. But when you see them, you just want to rip their clothes off. So, and that's exactly what they represented to me. So, passion, undying passion.
Max and Kyle, that's cool. My number 5 actually is off of the soap opera. Jesse and Angie from All My Children. A couple that has went through a lot of trials and tribulations, and they stayed together. They was off the soap opera scene for a minute, and All My Children even seen enough that they wanted to rekindle their love and brought them back. And now they're back again. So I gotta shout out my number 5 pick couples will be Jesse and Angie from All My Children.
Okay. I'm gonna start with number 4. Martin and Gina, obviously from Martin.
Wow. Okay.
Why? Because they represent devotion. They had each other's back throughout the entire series. You never saw them really get into any major spectacles that brought them apart. And they stuck together like a team. Like, I love them together. But that's why I picked them as number 4.
Okay. That's a nice pick. That's a nice pick. I wouldn't have put them there, but that's a nice pick.
Okay.
My number 4 has to be Cliff and Claire Huxtable from The Cosby Show. The reason I picked Cliff and Claire because when The Cosby Show first came out, I had never seen a doctor and a lawyer on TV, first of all, in black. That was kind of hot. And I wanted to live in their brownstone in Brooklyn, even though they actually shot that in Queens. but it's all good. But, you know, I definitely was a big fan of The Cosby Show, and I think Claire and Cliff were, you know, just positive role models. They had the dope 5 kids, and shout out to Lisa Bonet. As a kid, everybody, all the dudes wanted to get at Lisa. So that's why my pick for number 4 is Cliff and Claire Huxtable, The Cosby Show.
You want to know what's interesting? They're my number 3.
Okay.
Cliff and Claire are my number 3. For all the reasons that he said, and also because for what they represent to me, it's like they're what you aspire to be. Like, they were Barack and Michelle before we even knew who Barack and Michelle were.
Good one.
You know, they showed, you know, what you can do, hard work together as individuals and as a team. You know, they had a really strong foundation. You know, they didn't just show love for each other as a couple, they showed love for the entire family.
All right. My number 3, Martin and Gina Payne from Martin. I know we kind of disagree on placing, but Gina and Martin to me represented funniness. They was just, to me, they were hilarious together. The early Gina and Martin, as the show started ending, we all know they had their little dramas going on, but in the beginning of the first couple of 3 seasons, when they was tight as a rock, I didn't think any couple on television had the comedic timing that they had. They had the flow. It was just real natural. My definite number 3 black couple would have to be Gina and Martin.
Okay. Number 2 is Overton and Sinclair from Living Single. Why? Because they're just that pure love that you aspire to be. I mean, I know it didn't seem real, like it just seemed a little too perfect, but it's just, you just look at them like, oh wow, they are so cute. You know, he had his little thing with the Andy Man and the trolls, and I used to always think the way they talked about sex was real cute. They would say, we're gonna go to mopping or cleaning or whatever, but I just loved it.
No, that's cute. That's cute.
It is cute.
Alright, my number 2, Florida and James Evans from Good Times. I really wanted to put them number 1, but because we came up with an agreement on number 1. Agreement on number 1, I had to put them number 2. But deep in my heart, James and Florida definitely are my number 1. First of all, I grew up watching Good Times, and I grew up in the projects, just like JJ and Michael and Thelma. And I have never seen any, I don't think to this date I've seen anyone as real as Florida Evans and James Evans as far as struggling in the hood. They represent what I came up on. So my number 2 is definitely James and Florida Evans from Good Times.
That's heavy.
It's real heavy.
That's heavy.
And they should have been my number 1, but I'm allowed this to slide. Okay.
Yeah, we know where your heart is. It's okay. So we came up with a mutual number 1.
Which is definitely good.
It's definitely a good pick. And our number 1 is
Dwayne
and Whitley.
From a different world. Tell them why.
That's the realest relationship I've ever seen on TV. I mean, for 6 seasons, they went through the motions. You know, first they didn't like each other, then they did. Then he went with Keanu, and then she was like, "Oh my God, I love him!" Like, you really saw the struggle.
Byron.
She was with Byron. Thank you. And then she was with Byron, and then they got engaged, and he had an affair of the mind or whatever. But the point is, you saw them go through their troubles. You kept going, well, when they gonna get together? When they gonna get together? What they gonna do? And then finally he comes and he just scoops her off her feet at her wedding. Like, who does that? That whole episode when he was like, the scene before they got married. You went to
Go ahead.
the scene before they got married, and he's like, you taught me how to love, and she's like, you taught me how to love. Like, I was just like who does that? You know, like that was real. And then he just came and just scooped her up at a wedding.
Okay, can I get my little can I add in? Actually, he didn't come and scoop her up. He came to the wedding and she decided not to marry. She the one who bowed out on Byron.
Right, but he came
was
down
there.
the aisle.
He was there, and then when she changed, when she decided to get a little cold feet and start seeing Dwayne everywhere the thing, she said, Byron, I don't know. And then Dwayne was like, baby, I love you, and they tried to hold him back and all that stuff. So, but I'm just being technical, but definitely Whitley Dwayne. The reason I picked Whitley Dwayne because, first of all, A Different World to me was the dopest show ever. You never got to see a black college life, and they showed you college life. Now, you know what? Let me rephrase that. They showed you college life. I don't want to put no specifics on it. Yes, it was black. Hillman was black, but it was college life, and I had not seen a show like that. And I don't think I have even to today. So I identified with Whitley and Dwayne because they were kind of my age. I too went to a black university, Morgan State. Shout that out. Shout out all the whole Different World cast.
The whole cast. I love Freddie. Freddie was my girl.
So, you know, once again, shout out to Lisa Bonet because, you know, Dwayne was actually chasing her in the first season.
And she kept turning him down.
But that's our number 1 pick, Dwayne and Whitley from A Different World. This has been I Am Hip Hop. Boy JohnOllie.
Chris Breezy from The Breezy Effect.
Check her out on thebreezyeffect.com, right?
Yep.
All right. And, you know, check me out right here on YouTube.
YouTube, JohnOllie.
That's right, like always. Excuse me, can you slide over, man? And remember, hip hop is not something you do, it's something you live.